Hi guys, we're Real Sensi. We're here today with the lead singer of Arise Roots. This is Kareem.
What's up? Kareem Israel, Arise Roots.
So when did you first realize you wanted to be a musician?
You know what? My dad was a reggae artist, and from as early as I can remember, and actually even before I can remember, that was just the music that was always played in the house. That was the music that he used to sit me beside the speakers or put the speaker beside the crib and just bump roots reggae music just all day. Just it was just a part of life. And so for me, when I started to get a little bit older and elementary school and like started to hear music and whatnot and like really started to dig music and hear the radio and see
That's awesome.
videos on UMTV raps and different stuff like that. All the stuff was there, but reggae was always like the first love.
Top.
Yeah, that was always the first love, and so it was something that I always wanted to do, but I never like the scene that we have now. It wasn't here when I was growing up
Yeah, definitely.
and it definitely wasn't in the area that I was growing up, and so there wasn't really an outlet for live reggae music. So it was never really I guess it was like a dream in the back of my head,
Yeah.
but it was never like I didn't see any
First.
kind of way to actually make it happen.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of is what it is or was what it was, and then I moved to California, moved to LA, and I went to a Still Pulse show. It was in Long Beach at
Awesome.
the Vault 350 back in the day, and I didn't. They Still Pulse came on so late that I didn't even get a chance to see them. I had to leave
Oh,
before
really?
they came on. Yeah, they came on super late, super late. But Tomorrow's Bad Seeds opened for them that day,
Oh,
that
that's
night.
awesome.
And so I remember seeing them and being like, man, like these guys are dope. Like the
Mhm.
energy was just crazy. The
Crazy.
crowd was crazy. Like it was just crazy. And so I remember thinking like, man, this is I've never seen anything like this back where I
Mhm.
grew up. And so I started to kind of dig in to look and see who they were.
Definitely.
And once I found out who they were, I realized there's this whole like music scene that's here.
Yeah.
And not even just in LA, but just California and even just the US, as a whole, like the American reggae music scene. It was bigger than I knew it to be.
That's
All of the
amazing.
all of the reggae that I was used to seeing, whether it was going to shows or whether it was listening to at home, it was always just straight Jamaican reggae.
Mhm.
And so when I realized that there was an American scene, I'm thinking like, man, this is crazy. Like this is, and not only is it like is it dope and it's whatever, but it's like right in my own backyard.
Right?
And so once I saw that, I said, you know what, if they can do it, I can do it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Let me go out there and try to see if I can find some guys to jam with. And I found the guys on Craigslist, as a matter of fact, on
That's awesome.
Craigslist, and we all gathered together for just a jam session. And the vibe was dope inside the room. And so it went from one jam session to the next jam session to the next, and then to the first show, and then the next show, and then
Wow.
yeah, the first
Just kept
album, and then the
flowing.
first tour, and the first whatever, and just kind of just kept going.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it just kept going.
That's amazing. Well, that's so awesome how like all your experiences and like all the
Hmm.
just like your whole journey
Right.
basically, and that there's different like themes of reggae,
Right.
like Cali, Jamaican, like there's all
Right.
different types. It's just you
Right.
guys are trying to spread a positive
Right.
vibe, so that's like
Yeah,
amazing.
definitely. It's that's the name of the game. I feel like when it comes to this music, it's very special. There's amount of love and just acceptance and just and coolness in this scene. I think that than a lot of other scenes out there. So it's dope. It's
Yeah.
dope. It's a dope thing to be a part of. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You already said this before, but
Mhm.
you're based out of Long Beach, you
Mhm.
said?
I'm in Long Beach
Oh,
myself, but
okay.
the band itself it's pretty much LA.
Oh,
We're
okay.
all either from around South LA to East LA, or just the outskirts, whether Whittier or Pico Rivera or whatever. Like all pretty much, some of us right from the middle of LA, 24th and San Pedro. So it's LA,
That's awesome.
LA, yeah, LA.
Did everyone agree with playing reggae at first, or did
Yeah,
all you
that
guys have different
no,
preferences?
that was actually what brought us all together. It was just oh, you good. It was just a group of guys that wanted to get together just to jam on roots reggae. Like
Yeah.
that was that's what brought everybody together was like it was not only just reggae but roots
Yeah.
reggae, and that's how we got that's where the name came from. Is like we arose from that. It's so that doesn't mean that we only play roots or that we only like roots, but that's our foundation. That's
Definitely.
our that's
What brought
that's
you guys
yeah, that's what brought
together.
us together. That's where the heart is,
Mhm.
And so, even with roots, my uh my my father was a roots and rocksteady artist. So like I said, for me that was all roots was always just a part of that's the only reggae I knew for a long period of time. Then I got into the dance hall and I got into the rocksteady and got into the ska and all the other kind of all the other subgenres. But roots was always my foundation.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So, were you the one that thought of the name, or was it like you guys all thought of it
You know
like
what? I
together?
truthfully I cannot remember. I can't remember that. I remember the night that it happened, that the name came, but I can't remember like exactly how it happened. And my memory is a work in progress. So I don't remember all the details, but I do remember the night. And when it came up, when the name came up, it's again like I feel like naming something is so tough. It's so many. You don't want to sound like another band that's already out there, but there's so many other band names out there, and there's so many other good band names and clever names, and you think, oh man, I wish I would have thought of that one first. Or I wish I would have thought of this one first, or whatever the case is. It's
Yes,
tough. It's so
definitely.
tough. And then even thinking about like, how it works for people searching it on online. Like, is it gonna come up against something that is gonna take them in another direction, or
Right.
whatever, So the naming thing is tough. So when it came to, when it that particular name came up, it was I don't know, something kind of just stuck like in the room. It was like, okay, yeah, maybe this one,
Yeah.
and then we just never looked back from there.
Good.
So
That's awesome.
yeah,
What do you think's kept you motivated throughout your whole music process?
for me, um, really is it might sound cliche, but is the actual like the love of the music. It's I can't go a full day without thinking of a melody of a song or little pieces of a song here, or thinking about just it's always like it's always bubbling up.
Yep.
And sometimes I've literally I've probably had about a trillion ideas, and usually most of them just kind of fall by the wayside. But some of them will catch, and I'll remember it the next day, or keep going, or I might put it in my phone, a little voice memo or something.
Yeah.
So it's a long process between the idea of it and it coming to fruition. Well, sometimes it happens pretty quickly, but yeah, it's the music is it's always there. It's always I remember. Not even I remember. It still
Ideas
even happens
flowing.
now, right? It even happens now. Like there's times where I'll be in the bed, and I'll wake up and I'll have an idea for a song. It's like I can't go to sleep
Yeah.
now because of this song idea, or
Right.
um, even a lot of times will happen where I'll have a song idea that I'm dreaming about, and I can hear it like, dang, this is dope. And then I'll wake up and like I can't remember it. It's the worst. It's the worst feeling trying to catch that. So I'll wake over and I'll try to hum it into my phone, and I was like, okay, I hope that was good enough, and I'll hang the phone or whatever. The next day I'll listen back to it. It's like, I'm like, okay, I obviously did not like
You're like, I'm gonna
capture.
try to listen
Yeah,
to what this says.
yeah, I did not capture the essence of what I was thinking.
It's all good.
Yeah, so that happens a lot of times as well. But it's probably a long-winded answer. But music just comes out of me all the time, comes out of us all the time, and so that's
It's
the
part of
main.
you.
Yeah, it's a part of us. So that is the main motivation is getting the music
Music.
out. I feel like if we didn't, it would fill up and I would like explode or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, yeah. So that's the number one motivation is the actual music itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Reggae is just amazing, like altogether.
Yeah,
Honestly.
yeah, yeah. It's a one of a kind vibe. It's
I
a one
love
of a
it.
kind vibe. Yeah.
Which artists do you think are big inspirations within your music?
For us, you know what, the guys in the band are very these guys are
Talented.
students.
Yeah.
Like these guys are bona fide students of the genre. And me coming into the mix, just with the knowledge that I had, thinking like, oh man, I know a lot. I'm good. Like I know 10 times more than the average person about reggae music. Then I met these guys, and it's like, goodness gracious, like not only you guys know about it, like you guys know like in depth. Like I can name a random band from '70s Jamaica, and they'll know who the keyboard player was. They'll know the
Wow.
saxophone player's name. They'll know the drummer's name. They'll
That's
know the
awesome.
like it's crazy. Like
They knew
they oh man,
everything.
they know it. And some of the guys in the band have played with a lot of the legends as they've come through California. Some of them even toured with a lot of some of the legends that have come from Jamaica, and so just
It's
that
amazing.
level of knowledge with the guys is something that I don't see a lot of when I'm just coming across. Even when I come across other reggae musicians or people in this that are actually in the
Yeah.
scene, like the guys in the band are they're studied, like they know the history.
Yeah.
They know the history of reggae music.